Hello, welcome to my channel. This is Anna Breeze, holistic life coach and author. Today I'd like to talk about codependency. It's a very juicy topic that I believe has a lot of misconceptions around it. So you might have heard that codependency is used to describe a toxic pattern in relationships, and in some situations that is true. But what if I told you that the way we view codependency may actually be outdated? So today I want to explore the idea that rather than being independent or codependent, we're all actually in some way interdependent and connected. So let's dive in and look at relationships from that perspective of unity, love, and connection. So first of all, what is codependency and where did it come from? When most people talk about codependency, they're usually describing a relationship where one or more people depend on another for their self-worth and identity, often in a way that can be damaging, especially when addiction or abuse is involved. I'm not encouraging that, just so you know. Codependency has often been associated with situations where emotional toxicity, manipulation, or addiction patterns that can harm both people in the relationship are surfacing. And that's usually because of past unhealed traumas, patterns that were witnessed or developed during childhood. So when we're in relationships as adults, we often get into these dynamics where we're both playing out a certain role that could be toxic. But outside of these more extreme toxic scenarios, our natural tendency is to depend on others in relationships, to be able to rely on our partners in times of need, or when we're both going through a difficult situation. And it's important that we can depend on each other. It's actually part of being human and connected. We build these relationships based on trust and intimacy, and the mutual desire to love and support one another. But if we take a step back, the reality is that we all rely on one another in some way. So let's have a look at interdependence and see if we can have a more balanced view. This natural give and take is called interdependence, and it's a powerful and healthy part of relationships. Just like how our organs work together to keep our bodies alive, in relationships, we play different roles that contribute to a larger shared purpose. So it's not just about me anymore, it becomes a we and what's of benefit to the whole. So there's a bit of give and take, there's a bit of compromise, there's a bit of, adjustment. So let's consider the roles in a family. Some people might be the breadwinners, while others focus on creating a loving, supportive home environment. We have this natural blend of yin and yang roles depending on the qualities and natural inclinations of the individual. So these roles aren't about one person being more independent or needy than the other. They're about working together to support the family as a unit and bringing together, the best of our skills and working as a team. So when both people are happy in their roles and respect each other's contributions, this setup can be a healthy form of interdependence, not codependence. It actually becomes co-creation. It's a synergistic way of being and living together so that we can share our lives in a balanced and abundant way. So let's look at reframing codependency as love and unity. Let's see what it means to be dependent or independent. I believe that in reality, we are all deeply connected. We are all one. And I talk about this in my book, The Wise Method, Awakening Earth Stewards in Unity and Purpose, and it's available in the description below. In relationships, rather than aiming for pure independence, perhaps we can aim for healthy interdependence based on mutual respect, support, and shared growth, honoring the unique talents that each one brings. This idea of unity can be understood through the example of a pet. So, if you have a dog or a hamster, whatever, think about your dog for a minute. We don't label our love for our pets as codependent just because they need us and we need them. In fact, our pets teach us about unconditional love and acceptance without labeling it as unhealthy or codependent. Why? Because it's clear that this bond is based on mutual affection and care rather than control or insecurity. So in our relationships, can we aim for unconditional love? Let's move on to the potential of what it would be like to experience the power of unity in relationships. Imagine if we all approached our relationships from a place of love and unity. By recognizing that we're all interconnected, we can release the need to constantly judge our relationships as too dependent or too independent. We get out of these constricting ideas where we judge our relationship dynamics and we're weighing up the giving and the taking and trying to figure it out. When we shift to a mindset that values connection and genuine intimacy, we allow ourselves to embrace our natural human need for closeness and companionship without shame. In a sense, we realize that there's no such thing as total independence, because even when we're not in romantic relationships, we're still connected to our families, friends, and communities, and we have our specific roles in those connections. Interdependence in all kinds of relationships. The unity perspective can be applied to all relationships, romantic or friendships. We can be supportive of each other in ways that nurture growth, joy, and well-being. This is where healthy interdependence flourishes. It's not about losing yourself in someone else, but rather finding strength and being part of something greater than yourself. It's no longer me, it's we. So when we embrace this perspective, we can honor the individual strengths that each person brings to a relationship. You know, maybe one person is good at planning, while the other brings spontaneity. One is a thinker, the other an intuitive. Together, they're creating a unified whole or team that's more balanced and resilient because we bring the best of both of our worlds. We bring all our talents and combine them together for mutual benefit. So instead of seeing relationships through this lens of too much dependence, codependence, let's try viewing them as spaces, sacred spaces and containers where we each bring something valuable to the table. When both people feel respected, appreciated, and free to express their authentic selves, we see that the real foundation of every relationship is love. So, to sum it up, maybe it's time we release this outdated concept of codependency, except in truly toxic scenarios where it needs addressed. Don't stay in an abusive relationship. That's not what this video is about. Let's start embracing the beauty of interdependence and unity. Because when we're truly connected from a place of love and authenticity, we create something that benefits everyone involved. And when we have this harmony and balance in our relationships, we radiate that out into our communities as well. And so everyone does benefit. Thanks for listening. And if this message resonated with you, feel free to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear how you view relationships and the whole labeling of dependence, interdependence, anxious, attached. There's so many different ways of viewing them these days. But I think that the key is to aim for these healthy dynamics. And I think they naturally occur when we come from this place of unity and unconditional giving and love. So thank you for listening. Also, feel free to sign up for my newsletter in the description below. And if you'd like to work with me on one-on-one coaching, please check out my services in the website. The links all in the descriptions below. Thanks for watching. Take care. Until next time. Bye for now.